Hi, welcome to Making All the Plans. I'm Connie, and if we haven't met before, I'm a busy mom of 2 active kids, and both my husband and I have full-time careers. My goal is to share with you how I stay on top of all life throws at me in one planner so that you might be able to do the same. This month, I decided to get some printables off of Etsy, and these are not sticker sheets per se. They were images that then I printed on sticker paper and cut out on my Cricut, and then I did make some boxes as well. We will be on spring break when you watch this video, and when we get back, it will be April 1st, but I still wanted that beachy vibe. I felt like April felt like more spring breakish than March did, so I just wanted to carry that theme and carry that lightness and airiness in through April. So that's why I decided to use this beachy theme, even though we'll only be in Florida one day of the month. The first thing I'm going to do is take the sticky notes off of my planner page. I did write the date on each one so that as I pull it off my spread, I will still know which day it goes with. But I do like having it here before I get my planner spread laid out, just because I am using it before I get the layout done. I usually put my monthly spread together around the middle point of the previous month because, as I said, I do like to reference it. So I like to do it a little bit early. So I think I finished this one on March 15th, but the video won't go up until shortly before April. So the first thing that I'm going to do this month is just place my boxes down for those things that I know are happening. And then I will go back in and decorate around those boxes. So Monday, I know the kids don't have school and we have a flight home. On the 8th, we are in the path of the eclipse. So our kids don't have school. I did put this down on the 9th. At some point, I will realize that I put it on the wrong date and I will move it. But my kids don't have school on the 8th as well. And then on the 2nd is my friend anniversary with my bestie. So I definitely want to note that. On the 3rd, both kids have hair appointments, and I am hoping that sports don't conflict with that because it is very hard to get into our hairstylist who we love and we hate going with anybody else. So hopefully that appointment can stick. Then on the 13th, I have my friend Alicia's birthday. On the 15th, of course, is tax day. And I don't really have a rhyme or reason to whether or not you get a small box or a big box. It really is just how I feel like putting it in. So that's why some are getting small and some are getting big. Normally for birthdays, I do just put a little sticker in, but the other stuff, it's very random whether I use a small box or a big box. I am liking these longer boxes though. That way I can denote that things are happening over multiple days. So this particular weekend, there's a soccer tournament. It may start on Friday and it may start on Saturday, but I definitely want to block it off like it's going to happen that whole time. Then I have birthdays on the 23rd and the 27th, and I will be in Cleveland for a work trip the 24th through the 26th. And since it goes over that middle section, I am going to take one of those long boxes and then just cut it so that I can carry it over to the other side of the page. So I did end up using one of the longer boxes, and that will go on Thursday and Friday. And then I pulled one of those shorter boxes and cut off the end so that it looks like it carries over until Wednesday. So I like how that takes up a lot of room on those days. I really will work pretty much the whole time that I'm in Cleveland. So that's a good way to denote that. But that is quote unquote all that's going on this month. I am still waiting to find out if my daughter is going to be able to run track. She is injured right now, and then I'm just waiting for the finalized soccer schedule. I have the tournament schedule, but not the rest of the schedule. So I will put meets and soccer games on this calendar, but I won't put practices because I can do other things during practices. But for meets and for games, I will be watching them. So I won't be able to do other things. And if I remember correctly, this is the video that I was doing when my daughter came in and asked me to take her and her friend to the mall. And as much as I would love to just take my kids and drop them off at the mall and let them have some freedom, I just don't feel like it's safe. So I did escort them at a safe distance. It almost looked like I was a stalker, but I wanted them to have a little bit of freedom and independence, but yet the safety of me being there if anything happened. So I was just taking my time and enjoying these stickers, and then at some point, all of a sudden, I just put everything together and I'm done. So I thought it was kind of funny. I didn't need to take as long as I took. I think it took me about 45 minutes to put the whole spread together. But again, I was just taking my time, enjoying the stickers. I think I might have had a show on, but I was just enjoying the time that I was getting to spend in the craft, which I don't always have. So it was just enjoyable to take my time and play around with where things were going to go and figure out where I liked certain stickers best. Had I known that she was going to come in and ask me to take her and her friend to the mall, I probably would have hustled through this a little bit at the beginning so that I could have gotten a little further with my task list for the day. But sometimes we just have to do things with our kids or for our kids. And it wasn't horrible, but one thing that's weird about our malls, at least, is there are no benches around the mall anymore. I know when I was younger, and even as an adult, when I would go to the mall, there used to be benches outside of stores where you could sit down, but now they don't want people to loiter. So there are no benches pretty much anywhere in the mall except for like the food court and a few gathering areas. So I would let them go into a store and I would stay outside or I would stand inside the store, but there was nowhere to sit down. So by Sunday morning, my back was so sore from standing on that hard floor. And I worked in retail and it used to hurt. And granted, this was many years ago and I was much younger. But I feel like when you just stand in one place, it's worse than walking around. Like if I had walked circles around the mall, I think I would have been better off than if I just stood there. So I think this just standing in one place was what ended up being painful. So the stickers that I'm using are from a new to me store, and I will put that link to Etsy and that shop down below. But I do want to mention that there are so many leftover that I am actually going to use these for my weekly spread when we are on vacation. And I will link to that video since it will already be up. But I did go ahead and do my monthly spread before I did that weekly spread. So I had all the stickers to choose from for this layout. And then when I did my weekly spread, of course, these ones were already picked over. I do wish that I had paid attention a little bit more to the proportion of the images that I was printing. I really wish I hadn't printed the hat so big, and I wish I would have printed out some sunglasses that were smaller. Not that I won't necessarily use them that size, but it would have been nice to have a smaller option as well. I also wish that I had thought about the sidebar a little bit more before I printed off the stickers. I'm not exactly sure what direction I would have headed instead, but I just didn't think about the sidebar or the proportions. I just pulled all the images into Photoshop and sized them about the same, and then I print and cut them on my Cricut. And if I hadn't decided to use them on a weekly spread as well, it would have been very wasteful for me to have printed all of these off. So if I would have taken just a few more minutes to think about what was going to go where, not only would I spend less time trying things out here, but I also would have saved supplies. So it's okay since I end up using this for a weekly spread as well. But again, I would have felt a little wasteful if I had all these extra stickers after I had finished my monthly and wasn't planning on using them somewhere else. And thank goodness for Undo, since I could not figure out how best to position these chairs. I did take the one up completely that was in that left area on this page, but I did still want to use one. I just moved it a little bit down to the bottom so that it looked like it was in line with the umbrella on the other side. And I keep looking through the sticker sheet, looking for some way to make those two images on the bottom kind of feel like they're together, and I'm not finding what I'm looking for. And I think what I really wanted was some washi tape that looked like sand, and I just don't have anything that was the right color. And even those like pinkish tan colors that are in the shells, I didn't have any of that either. It was either pink or yellow, and it really wasn't the right tone. So I just feel like there's something missing still on this spread. So I'm going to keep laying down a few more images here and there, but I really need something to pull the spread together. And I will end up using washi tape, but it's not necessarily the washi tape that I was looking for or thinking I needed. I did go ahead and put this quote down that says, "No one needs a vacation so much as the person who just had one." And I always feel like when I take trips with my kids that this is the way that it is because they want to go, 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 which I love spending time with them and going. But then by the time we get home, I'm exhausted and yet I still have to just go, go, go once we get home. So that is so true, and I'm already kind of afraid for what's going to happen when we get home and I have to hit the ground running at work, get the house back together and running as it should, and then the kids will, of course, be picking up at their spring sports. My son needs to do his in cars, so it's just going to be a little crazy. We are also hoping to get a little bit of exterior work done on our house when it gets nice. So there's just so many moving parts. I'm kind of thankful that we can't do much to the garden until May. Not that things are necessarily slower in May, but I get used to the quick pace of the spring by then, and I'm ready and okay to add one more thing in to our to-do list. So I'm finally putting the washi tape down, and like I said, it isn't exactly what I was looking for, but I do like how it brings the pops of blue throughout the page a little bit more. So I am okay with it. I do feel like it looks better in person than it does on screen, which is weird. Normally it's the other way around, but you can actually tell that the blue dots in the washi tape have a little bit of texture to them when you're looking at the actual page, which is what I like. It's not like it's a solid blue dot. So let me know down below what your plans are for spring. If you have already been on spring break, if you still have to go on spring break or get a spring break. I know that if we didn't have kids, that I really wouldn't get a spring break or take a spring break. I would actually purposely take a trip other times as to avoid the spring break traffic. But let me know what your plans are for the spring, if you're doing anything fun, taking any fun trips. As of right now, my bestie and I don't have any future trips planned, although I do think that we're going to start planning my daughter's 13th birthday trip. I think we're going to take her on a little trip for her birthday. And then I also need to plan our other family vacations. So I feel like the month of June is about the only time that we have if my son wants to go on a trip with us. So we're trying to get that scheduled out now so that we can get things booked and, things like that. All those little details that need to be planned and booked out in advance. We're trying to think through that now. So I like pretty much everything going on in the spread, but I do feel like there is just something missing in the sidebar. So I am flipping through, trying to find something else there. I do decide to put one more shell up in the top area on the right hand side, but I really just don't know what to put there that won't look completely out of place since the sailboat is already there. If I put the motorbike up there or if I put a little scenery up there, I just don't think it's going to look right. So I I think the only other option really is to put a box in there, and I don't really have anything necessarily that I want to write in the box, but I am going to go ahead and put a box in and put a quote in there and then put one more box in just for a little bit of balance. But I don't really know what I'll write in there, but I didn't know how else to fill up a little bit more of the space without it looking odd since the sailboat is already there. If I had had some clouds or something like that that I could put up there, that would have been nice, but I didn't want to go back and print anything else. So I just went ahead and used what I had, and I thought boxes were the best answer for that. But I'll go ahead and grab the ice cream cone and put up there in that little cluster. And then I'll also grab a little quote for one of the boxes that says, "Don't worry, beach happy." And then the only other thing that I'm going to do to the spread is actually write in those things that I had put stickers down for, and I won't make you suffer through me handwriting all that out, but I will show you the final spread and a look at all the stickers that I have left from printing out the stickers from Etsy. And there are even more images that I didn't print out, just to keep in mind. But other than that, I hope that everybody has a great April. If you like this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And I will see you in my next video when I get back from spring break. Bye!